I'm Justin.
And that's Stanley Bear. And today we are going to talk about booking a cruise. So if you haven't done a cruise before, we've got some tips for you to sort of help make that a bit easier, and a couple of things to think about. So the first thing is about choosing a cabin. So talking about things like the location and things that you might want.
And how many people you've got in your party.
Yeah, definitely. So when you're going on and you're booking your cruise, it's going to ask you how many people, and that's going to sort of show you rooms that are available for that many people. Other things that we've talked about in previous videos is having a look at what's above and below the cabin you're looking at. So what do we mean by that?
Like what noise
Yeah.
is going to be there and what it's nearby, like
Yeah.
elevators.
Absolutely. So you want to make sure that in an ideal world, you've got cabins above you and below you, because that's going to mean that there's a bit less noise. So you don't want to be too close to things like the theatre, because you can get a bit of bleed through from there. We also talked about adjoining rooms, because you can get bleed through under those doors between the two cabins. And also, like you say, making sure if you need to be close to the elevators or need to be close to the stairs or maybe the laundromat, making sure you've got that and you check that. So if you're not sure how to navigate those deck plans, we've got a video up that sort of helps with that as well. Next thing is have a look at drinks packages. So we've just recorded a video which would have come out last week talking about the different fare tiers in relation to Princess.
Yeah.
But most cruise lines have this. So you'll know if you like to have a drink or if you enjoy specialty coffees or things like that.
It caters for everyone.
It does, yeah. So it's just a matter of having a look at what's included in those drinks packages and just seeing if they're going to actually make sense for you.
Yeah.
I know with the Princess ones, the Premier package is $100 a day. So if you don't think you're going to get $100 value out of it, maybe it's not worth it for you. But there's generally different tiers, so have a look at the cruise line you're
There's one for everyone.
Generally, yeah, absolutely. Think about how you're going to get to the port as well. So for us, we're in Townsville and it's absolutely bucketing rain outside. Hopefully that's not coming up on the microphone, but have a think about how you'll get to port. We have to fly to port every time. Our closest port is Brisbane, so it's a flight every time or a 2-day drive. So have a think about how you'll get there, but also have a look at the flights, what time those flights will get in, and how you're going to get to the port from there. We always say it's a good idea to fly in the day before you cruise.
Yeah.
And why is that?
We have heard stories about running late for, they don't muck around.
They definitely don't muck around. So if you have delays on your flight, and we've had flights cancelled with a 7-hour delay, if you have delays like that, you may miss the ship.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't want to risk it.
Absolutely. So you want to make sure that A, it's covered as part of your travel insurance, and we always recommend travel insurance. But B, you just don't want that hassle, right?
No.
So if you can fly in the day before, get accommodation, spend a bit of time in that port before you get on the ship, it's just a bit more relaxing.
Yeah.
Having said that, we've got a cruise in March, just 3-day 90s cruise out of Brisbane, and we're flying in the morning of the cruise. The reason for that is it was simply costs, because the cost of the flights was astronomical.
Yeah.
So you add the cost of flights and then accommodation for the night before. We decided this one time we're going to take the chance and fly in the morning of the cruise. We get in, I think, at 7 o'clock in the morning, and our boarding time is not till 11:30. So
there's time.
There's a bit of time there. So we don't think there'll be a problem there. But we'll let you know. We'll do some videos while we're on that ship as well. So if you're going to drive to port, have a think about parking. Where are you going to park? If you're cruising out of Brisbane, the Brisbane Cruise Terminal has quite a bit of parking there, and I've heard they're opening more parking. So have a think about that. There's also a lot of other providers that provide parking and have shuttle buses that will drop you at the ship there as well. So do some research into that as well. The next one we've got is tours. So having a look at tours and what you want to do. So I always think it's best to jump on and book tours early. And remembering that not all cruises have tours. The one we're doing for the 90s cruise is no tours because it doesn't actually go anywhere. It just goes out to sea. Last time they just dropped the anchor and
that was weird.
It was a bit strange, but I think it was a bit of a cost saving thing so they didn't have to pay for the fuel while they were out there. But if there are tours on there, jump on, have a look. Probably something to think about is if you want to do tours through the ship, They generally do cost a little bit extra to do them through the ship, but the good thing there is you get that guaranteed return to the ship. So at least you know you're going to get back on the ship. If they're running late, the ship will wait for you. If the ship can't wait any longer, they'll organise to get you to the next port. So that's a good thing. But having said that, there are tours available, obviously, that you don't book through the ship. When we went to New Zealand last time in November, we did one privately, Hobbiton. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
The second time at Hobbiton, and we'll definitely go back again. We're doing New Zealand again this Christmas. But yeah, and we were able to have a look and find a tour that also guaranteed to get you back to the ship. If they didn't get you back to the ship again, they'd get you to the next port. So that was good. It generally is a bit cheaper to book not through the cruise line, but again, more often than not, you're not getting that guaranteed return. The last thing I wanted to talk about on this subject was future cruise credits. So with most cruise lines, when you're on a ship, you can pay a deposit towards another cruise. And we've done this a few times. And one of the beauties of that is that generally it's around $99. Time of recording with Princess, it was a $99 future cruise fare. And you put that deposit down. You don't necessarily have to book a particular cruise. You can just pay that deposit and you can look for your cruise later. If you're using a travel agent, you can get them to apply that for you as well. The good thing there is it's a lowered deposit. So generally you'll pay a certain percentage as your deposit. If you're using the future cruise credit, that $99 becomes your deposit.
Yep.
And the good thing there is you can pay it off, right? So we've got 5 cruises booked at the moment and we're paying 3 of them off. The first one isn't until Christmas this year and we're paying it off at like, I think $200 a fortnight or something like that. And you can do that with, as far as I know, all the cruise lines. We just set up a automated BPay that every payday it transfers across that amount of money to that particular cruise. And every so often I go in and make sure that it's coming down and that it's going to be paid by the due date. So just, if you're going to do that, have a look at your terms and conditions. Make sure you understand when the cruise actually has to be paid in full, because they do have a date on that as well. Anything else you want to add on those? Well, I think that'll do it for this video, only a short one. But if you like the video, give it a like, give the channel a subscribe, hit the bell icon so you know when we're putting up future content. We've got quite a bit planned, and as I say, we've got a number of cruises booked as well. Hitting like and subscribing to the channel lets the algorithm know that it's worth showing this video to other cruisers as well, so they can get the sort of information that you've got. Don't hoard that information. Until next time, we'll talk to you then.
Bye.